Hi, folks. You're with Tacitus today. Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this audio live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about the implications of artificial intelligence, AI. Now, it's been super mega hyped, and there have been some major advances. I've been looking at a crowd scene made with AI, or not even a year ago, and you could kind of see it was fake. They just didn't quite have the proportions quite right, particularly when moving around or in a sequence where people are, as in AI people, are moving around. But saw one just a few days ago, and a very similar sort of situation of a human crowd scene. Much harder to pick it was AI. Knowing in advance it was AI sort of caused you to look and be really careful. Okay, you can spot the. But if someone had given me that and said this is a crowd scene, and I wasn't specifically nitpicking it and looking at it, I wouldn't have noticed it. So that's how good it is. But I just wanted to talk about AI generally. Now, will AI be the big sort of equalizer? Will the stupid, moronic, the lazy, and the pathetic be able to be the equal of the hardworking, industrious, conscientious, learned, experienced, qualified person? Will the two end up using, one using AI, the other using their own abilities, acquired abilities through years of experience, hard learning, hitting the books and all that sort of stuff? Will the two be equalized by AI? And I think there's actually a possibility of that. Just within my area of expertise, and I'll just use general sort of language here, but I was putting together, in effect, a business plan for a particular business, and this was really a broad strategy plan as well. And the guy who sort of runs the place or owns the place has expertise in a specific area, but not in the area that not in this area that I was doing the work for them in. And not only that, is he has like zero expertise in the area. Out of 100, you'd be lucky to give him 5% in terms of a grade of what he knows and can do, and so on. That's why he's of course come to us to get that work done, which is fine. But he's got a series of AI programs that he accesses and uses, ranging from Chat GPT to whatever. And what he does is he effectively says, well, this is what I need to know. These are the questions, and that he isn't getting the questions right, but or no, not specific enough. But he puts the questions in, and it prints out effectively a report to him, and even to the point where he can say, well, what about and again, I use a big well-known name. What about IBM? Can I use them for this? And what would be the benefits and the downsides of using IBM? And it'll spit out a report. So, well, the benefits of IBM are da 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 da. And so, if I look at the strategy plan that I've put together, over 40 years experience in the workforce, and years of hitting the books in college and everything, I look at what I put and what the AI programs put out, and looked at the difference between the two. And he showed me what it, and it wasn't the same. It wasn't up to the standard that I produce, and not, you wouldn't expect it, by the way. But if I look at the questions he's asked of AI, as he posed it, this guy, and he's working with a couple of other people as well, so they would have had their input. The questions weren't, he doesn't understand issues well enough to know how to phrase or what questions to ask. But let's suppose he did. And if he did know that well enough, then he would be less reliant on AI. So there's an interactive matrix of I don't know anything, so I'll ask AI, or I do know some, I'll check with AI to see if it's similar. So the reliance on AI will vary depending on the person's knowledge, ability, and understanding of the issue. So that's something that needs to be sort of considered as we think this through. But nonetheless, the difference was not that great. Now, you only need to have one dumbass suggestion or whatever coming out of AI to fuck up whatever you're doing. So that's an issue as well. Whereas, I was very meticulous in going out to make sure that all the information was correct, useful, accurate, and these sorts of things. So there's differences there, but nonetheless, the difference wasn't vast. The AI came up with almost some of exactly the same things that I came up with, and that suggests that the gap between what AI can produce, assuming the questions are right, and what a learned person who's very experienced, and I would consider myself expert in this area, this particular area, the difference wasn't vast. Sure, there's a difference, and the differences were in some places quite critical. Even so, this guy who doesn't know dog shit can go to AI and say, tell me what to do. I'm simplifying this, but tell me what to do here. And AI will come back with something not far away of what an expert can do. Now, he's going to pay, and I'll use round numbers here, he's going to pay me $100 to do this. I'm just using simple numbers. He's going to pay me $100 to do this work. But AI, he can get AI to do it for free or close to free. And so why would he pay me or anyone for that matter $100 when he can get a somewhat close approximation to what he would pay $100 for just by. Now, he was talking to me about another sort of area of expertise that he was looking for in helping write some code for something, computer code. And he'd been quoted somewhere between $50,000 and $60,000, and he'd got a few different quotes. And so he decided to just go to AI and go to say, okay, this is what I need to do. Tell me, how to write the code or cut some code for me. And there are apparently programs out there, not that I'm aware of them, but programs out there, AI programs can do it. And so he had to refine and go back and sort of ask more questions and go through. But he claims, and I don't know, I haven't seen it, but he claims he got all of that done, just him and his one of his colleagues. He got the whole thing done in 10 days and didn't have to pay a nickel for it, just using AI. Now, again, I don't know the veracity of this. Maybe the stuff he's got's crap and won't work. I don't know. Maybe it was never that big a deal to begin with. Maybe the people he went to inquire about it were trying to skin him alive with overpricing. Again, don't know. But nonetheless, just putting that as just that snapshot there, he claims he's been able to do that work for nothing and saved himself $50,000, $60,000, whatever dollars if he paid someone to do it. Now we'll see. Maybe the stuff he's got doesn't stand up. It's going to fall over as soon as look at it. But even so, looking at this, people with great expertise, knowledge, experience, capability are now going to be 10% ahead of or 10% better than someone who's got none, zero, zip, nada, zilch of all that, because the person with no ability or capability or knowledge can go to AI. And that will, in effect, or will it? I guess that's the question. Will it, in effect, equalize outcomes? Somebody with a lifetime of knowledge, experience, learning, and success is going to be supplanted by someone who has no knowledge or capability, no achievements, or anything in this area. And the two are going to be, similar. I guess comparable in terms of outcomes. Now, that's a scary thought. What this means is you don't need anybody. People with expertise are just not going to be needed. Influencers are going to be needed. Devious backroom machine operators, as in political machine operators, they'll be needed. But if you go to third world economies, or the less sophisticated the economy, the more people will be doing jobs that AI cannot do. But the more sophisticated the economy, the first world economies, there are many jobs that AI can do, or in theory at least, many jobs that AI can do that means that people can be replaced. So if you look at, a technical workforce, and I'll use that term sort of broadly, whether it's operating machines, whether it's auditing or accounting or coding or anything like that at all, processing information, all of those jobs can be done by AI. And You go, I don't know, you go to visit on vacation. You go to another country. It does the retina scan. It scans your your I don't know, your fingerprints or something like that, and then the machine says, "Yep, you're okay." Go to gate number 3. The little pass that you got given by that machine is scanned by another, and the whole process could be done by AI. Now, this is of course, a theory, and it's a starry-eyed notion or considered to be in some places, but the less advanced the economy, the less penetration AI can have. The more advanced the economy, the greater the penetration of AI. Now, can you have a situation in any advanced economy, or any country for that matter, or any advanced economy where unemployment rates are 50, 60, 70% because AI is doing so many jobs? Where will the tax revenues come from? What will people do? Will then the globalist government of the day just decide to kill off everybody? Because the most skilled people are the ones that would be affected. The goat herder won't be affected. The rice farmer, isn't going to be affected. But the people doing again, technical first world technical jobs, they are going to be affected. What do you do with them? Do you kill them all off? Do you give them all a frontal lobotomy, or how will that be managed? So the wider social implications, where will taxation revenues come? All of this sort of stuff is going to be an issue. Do you herd them all into those big chicken barns, the barracks or something like that? You herd all the white people, because all the people with advanced technical skills, unless they're at the very, very apex of things, so a tiny proportion of the workforce, all the rest are going to be really redundant in some way or other. But I was surprised at how close this guy who knew nothing about things, how he was able to go to AI and produce an outcome, a strategy report. Again, I'll generically use terms, a strategy appraisal and report and so on. He was able to produce something that was not far off what I produced. Now, there was a gap in critical issues that would have made a difference, but it wasn't far off. And that's a scary thought. And how will that, assuming it's only going to improve from here, how will that play out over the next decade or so? Interesting times. You've been with Tacitus today, your Pushback channel. Thank you for listening.